君にキュンってしちゃってカラフルに世界がそうなるのずっとそばにいたいの止めないでメリーゴーランド甘い色を重ねてカラフルに包んであげるよ
Oh, oh yeah, cool. I just want to make sure. Maybe I should put the music just a little up. One moment. It's been a while since I had to rely on this top. audio. But dun 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 dun. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everycub. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm so sorry, I just ate, so I sound like a smoker. But that's just the price I have to pay because I need to make sure I had such good brain food. So, thank you for dealing with me, and thank you for your what do you call it? Patience with me. I know I was supposed to start like 38 minutes ago, so I hope you forgive me. June, I see you, I see you. I will politely sip some water and I will politely hydrate. Oh wait, yes, that's the same thing, heck. Here, I will politely hydrate now. Hold on, hold on. I just sat down. My posture's okay. Thank you though, I appreciate you. Hi everyone. Let me scroll up, let me say my thanks, and then we should be a-okay. One moment. Robo, hi, welcome. Let's go, we're going. Hi, Blood Knight, hi. You're late? I'm sorry. Welcome regardless. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Badge, hi. Thank you for the tier 2 sub for 19. Oh, hecky months, let's go. We're about to get to the big 2-0. That's so exciting. Thank you for your support as a sugar bear for this long. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you. Steph, hi, welcome. I see you guys are dancing. Let's go. Hi, Rusbus. Hi, welcome. Hi, CJ. Pog study stream. It's actually been some time. It's a little difficult because the lecture, like, so I don't know how to explain it, but basically how my class is taught, we're being taught like another person's like lectures, and that's like all their PowerPoints, but my professor really wants us to go off like the book and the back of the questions out of the book. So there really hasn't been much visual things to show you, but this week we have to do like intense muscle study, and I have to learn 25 muscles. Big heck! And I have to be quizzed on them this weekend, so this is why we're having a study stream today. So basically what that means is that I will have one big study interval today, and then I'll do like smaller intervals throughout the week. So let's go. I'm not so excited for this one, but this is something that I do have to practice and learn, and it's going to be extremely helpful when we look to our muscles. So today, class, we're going to be learning about our arm muscles. We're going to be learning about the forearm, the regular arm, and we're going to be learning about the extensors and flexors. So let's put it very briefly. So the anterior of your arm, or the front of your arm, if you were to put yourself in anatomical position, and this is definitely a hand, this is the front. All these muscles in the front, and again, anatomical position is like you facing forward, being like, oh, hello. This is not an anatomically okay man or person. If you were to have your like palm facing forward and everything like that, this is anatomical position, and all the muscles in the front are going to be ones to help you flex. And when I refer to the action of flexing, it's like when you do a bicep curl, or when you bring your palm closer to your face. So like, you know, when you see all those like Johnny Bravo punks at the gym, and they're like, oh yeah, baby, and they're doing their bicep curls with their big weights. When you do something like that, that is what do you call it? Flexing the arm. While extending is pretty much from that position that they're in bent, and just bringing it back down. Soup. Hi DJ, hi, welcome. So all the muscles in the front flex, all the muscles in the back will extend. So we'll go over that in a little bit. But what's more important that we have to get over is our first hurdle while studying is the brachial plexus. So it seems really overwhelming, and it is. So let me show you some examples. So this is like a really fancy art piece that someone did, which is actually really pretty. Let's see. We have like a little bit of a cleaner version right here, and then this is how it would look anatomically, like if you were looking into yourself or a cadaver. This is how it would look. So it's kind of a messed up tanglement of like wires, and like what is this really? But what happens is that from our spine, our cervical spine, we have these nerve roots coming out. We have C5 standing for like what do you call it? The nerve between vertebrae 5 and 6, C6, C7, C8, and T1. These are going to form a plexus, or kind of like a nerve bundle that's going to go all all the way down to our hand. And these are going to innervate different things. Well, the reason why nerve innervation is so important is because it allows us to perform the action that I was saying, especially when talking about the flexion and extension. Some muscles go a little more in depth with fingers, and we'll learn about that in just a little bit. But let's see. I'm muted now! I'm sorry! It's because I keep coughing like a smoker. Forgive me, I'm just gonna keep talking like this. No, I'm just kidding. But no, DJ, I'm glad that you're here for the learning. It looks really complicated, but we're gonna make it really simple, and we're gonna be drawing the roots, the trunks, the divisions, the chords. From those chords, we're gonna draw all the branches. So again, we have our well, there's a certain order that we'll go over to it, but we'll kind of read it off how it goes from left to right. So we have our axillary nerve, we have our radial nerve, musculocutaneous nerve, median nerve, and ulnar nerve. One of the big differences that we're going to learn is that we have two bones on our forearm called the radius and ulna, and this is kind of just lining up with those two bones, or why it's named after this. Another cool way of how I remember that the thumb is radial instead of ulna is because, you know, it's like older terminology, but I'm sure people still use it. Like when you put your thumbs up, you're like, wow, you're rad, and hence rad as in radial. Ha ha ha. Anyway, I do this with my classmates all the time with the forced laughter too, and it helps. At least it helps with memorization. Something's gotta click. Hi Big Ham. Hi, welcome. No! No, sorry. You're not gonna hear anything streaming. You're just gonna hear me screaming. Anyway, I don't remember what the Vulcan nerve pinch is, so I'm gonna go look that up. But let me also give a shout out to Big Ham. Welcome! How's your stream yesterday? How far did you get into your rigging? And I saw your little clip of the Animal Crossing play, so hope you had super fun. You make me want to go back into it. I remember clicking into it and I was like, nostalgia. So I hope you had lots of fun with it though. It was good with me. Progress, I know, it's such good progress. I can't wait to see the finished rigging. Let's go! Come back and hang with you, of course, anytime. What the heck? Of course. You want to see Bearcat Mountain and AC? Let's go! I'm always super down to show you. Let's go. My town has like a really small area that's not complete, and other areas that I've just flat out given up on. But overall, very pretty. Would recommend. Let's do a little Animal Crossing together soon, okay? No, okay, now, no! Now I think I'm pressing my hotkey by accident. I cry every single day of my life. Anyway, not muted, cool. So, how do you call it? It's really cool to learn about the nerves because, again, these nerves are going to be our innervation, and it's going to innervate the muscles to perform certain actions. So, we talked about our radial nerve being rad. So let's talk about some instances that this person has, and we'll kind of go over them once we actually draw the brachial plexus. So these are the roots coming again from our cervical spine. We have C5 and C6. Together, once we draw this, you'll learn that this is going to be our musculocutaneous nerve. If there's, for whatever reason, a lesion or like a cut or any like severance, like we're just like, whoop, no more. you might end up with certain kind of diagnosis. In this case, for C5 to C6, we're going to be having Earl's palsy, also known as waiter's tip. And the reason why it's called like that is because in Manson you have a fancy smanchy waiter. That is their face. And they just want you to give them like the tip, like, you know, like, oh, I don't like to keep it in secret. I don't know why. I don't know why you have to keep the tips in secret, but maybe it's like a big tip or something. You don't want the other waiters or waitresses to be jealous. That's why it's called this one. Oh, hi Dashin, hi, welcome. Hope you've been well. Want to chat, but you gotta get some work done? Yeah, no problem. Thank you for stopping by though. Thank you. Hi sir, hi, welcome as well. Howdy, tip and chat. How's the learning tonight? The learning's just starting and we're just only sadly reviewing. I haven't even put the timer yet, so I'm like, I want to kind of do like a really brief overview about it before diving into it. So, for Earl's palsy or waiter's tip, the arm is going to be adducted, and we talked about adduction, a billion years ago. Sorry about that. When it's adducted, basically means it's closer to the midline of the body. Your arm is also going to be medially rotated, so hence the positioning of this hand. And then the hand is going to be pronated, so the palm is going to be up like that. If you were to have a different kind of lesion, in this case at T8, T1, so we just kind of have like a big, is there a better color? Maybe black? Maybe not black, maybe red? Wow, we have a lesion right here for whatever reason. We might end up with a clump's palsy. So I'm dying. Okay, so that's when you're gonna end up with total claw hand. So you know how we go gow and we do our little claw hand and along with all that? Well, this disorder means that your fingers can't really fully bend and you're stuck in this slight finger flexion. But you'll be forever repping the Cub Club, so I can respect it. But it's kind of stinky because obviously this is like nerve damage. Let's see. We have Saturday night palsies, and the reason why the arm is like that, or why it's named Saturday night palsy, is because when people tend to drink too much, they tend to pass out and their limbs kind of hang all over the place. And you know, someone might be drinking a beer and they might have given up and their hand kind of just drops like that. Having damage from C5 to T1 to almost the majority, or not almost, all of the majority of it, you're going to end up with something called wrist drop. And again, that means that you can't extend your hand. You can't bring your hand up. You're going to forever be like this. So sad. He has some other interesting nerve conditions as well. So we have like the median nerve right here, the ulnar nerve right here. And for the median nerve, if you were to have a proximal lesion, so closer to the midline of the body as well, you're gonna end up with the Pope's blessing. So what happens in this case is that if you're trying to make a fist, this is what will happen. Your ring finger and your pinky finger will be able to start bending, but your middle finger, your pointer finger, and your thumb won't. So it'll look like you're giving a little bit of a blessing to other people. And this happens because the median nerve is going to innervate two different muscles that we'll talk about a little bit later. And that's why it's kind of like half the hand and not like the entire hand. If it's not a proximal lesion and it's more of a distal lesion, you're going to end up with kind of the opposite issue where your pinky and pointer are going to stand up. Oh no. Wrong one. When you're at rest, so this is trying to make a fist and this is trying to be at rest. So when you're at rest, it's able to bend, but when you're trying to make a fist, it doesn't. It's actually kind of weird. And then you have like the opposite with the ulnar nerve, except this time it's going to be affecting half the ring finger and your pinky finger. So, lots of nerves, all that, and so we're going to just go into trying to draw the brachial plexus. Oh no, that was an overview. Now I'm going to actually study because now I'm just like, Technically in my class, we don't need to know any of the conditions, so I'm not going super into it. It's just the idea of like, the reason why we're learning this is this. So now I will politely start the timer. But thank you, Robo. Thank you for always looking out for me. I cry. Thank you. But. let's say. Alright, let's go. So now we're official in the business. So we've seen all of this. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We've seen all the brachial plexus in all its entirety and complexity. Let's draw it. So the brachial plexus, I kind of, to save time, I might have drew some stuff. You have to forgive me. I wanted to save some time. So the brachial plexus is going to be divided into different sections. We're going to have our roots, our trunks, our divisions, the cord, and the branches. A good way to remember this is mnemonics. I really love mnemonics. So one of the mnemonics is remember to drink cold beer. And again, each letter corresponding with the subsections, or not subsections, yeah, sections that we have to draw in the brachial plexus. So let's get started. So our roots are just going to be what's coming directly out of the spine. So it's going to be our C5, our C6, our C7, our C8, and T1. A good way that I like to draw it if I was drawing out the skeleton really quick is that you're going to have 3 different Ys, except one is going to be flipped. So you have this Y, you have the flipped Y, and you have the regular Y. Why does one go straight? No one knows. That's just the way we're born. But we'll get into that more detail later. But now we have to add all the fancy stuff into it. But let's go again one by one. So we got our roots, and again, some roots will combine like this to form this trunk. T7 will go straight, and C8 and T1 will also merge like this. So for the trunks, it's actually pretty straightforward. We're gonna have a superior trunk, so a trunk that goes from the top, a middle trunk, and we're gonna have an inferior trunk. Again, pretty straightforward, because if we're gonna pull back this model right here. Oh, Hug Monster, thank you so very much for the follow. Welcome to the Cub Club. Welcome. It's pretty much named the way it is. So we have superior, which is on top, our middle, and then inferior being inferior, or the lowest to all of this. Now we're going to head over to our divisions. So for our divisions, we're going to have an anterior division and a posterior division. So one division, which is the anterior one, is going to appear more to the front, and our posterior is going to be more in the back, kind of like layers. One's on top, one's on the bottom. So I didn't distinguish, but we're going to put it so big. It's so big. So we're going to have the green to be anterior, and then we're going to have our blue be posterior. And we'll try to align it up a little bit more. So now I'm doing this from memory, so you have to forgive me. It's been a while since I drew the brachial plexus. It's been maybe like a week and a half. My anatomy teacher will be so ashamed of me. He's like, I draw it every day, and I'm like, huh, do you? So alright, so let's start with the posterior. The posterior division is very easy to me because it kind of forms like an arrow shape. So we're gonna have diagonals go from here, and diagonals go from here. Not as clean, and I apologize, but these blue are gonna be our posterior branches, and again, it's forming this arrow shape because this arrow shape is gonna be pointing to our cord, and this pink right here that we haven't even gotten to quite yet, it's gonna be our posterior cord. So all the posterior divisions will be pointing, quotation marks, pointing to our posterior cord. As for our interior one, we're gonna have one that just randomly goes up like this. So this is considered anterior right here, the straight one right here, this diagonal one right here, and our interior branch right here. And ta-da! We're done with our division. So easy, so simple. When I was first learning the brachial plexus, someone had made like a reference to bowling, but I'm not really familiar with bowling. I really am not familiar with bowling, but they said that it's better to get a strike, or like better to get an X than a slash. Like I don't know what that meant. Like if this was in a separate box, it's worse to get this one slash than to get the X. Anyway, So let's actually start naming our chords. So again, we're gonna have the 3 anterior divisions, and then we're gonna have our 3 posterior divisions. Going to the chords, let's go from here. See. Oh, I don't remember what font I used. Hi CJ, hi. Yeah, I know. I saw you earlier. No worries. I appreciate you being. So we're gonna have our lateral. What else will we have? We're gonna have our posterior. Oops. Posterior. No. And then we're gonna have our median, or well, middle. They consider it middle. The words are kind of interchangeable. There's really, unfortunately, no order of remembering this. I kind of remember it as LPN, kind of like nurses or LPNs, but instead of N like nurses, it's going to be M for middle. So like I said, all our posterior divisions are going to be pointing to that posterior chord. The lateral chord is going to be continuing straight, and the middle chord is going to be going straight. But there's going to be a fun friend involved. So what happens is that the lateral chord and the middle chord meet up, and they form a whole nother branch. So everything in yellow now is going to be our branches. Ta-da! And from there we get to name all the fun nerves, or our main terminal branches. So let's get started, okay? So it's gonna be a little bit overwhelming, so any overwhelming information for me, I learned a hecky mnemonic. So again, we said that to divide the brachial plexus, we're gonna learn this mnemonic of remember to drink cold beer. Well, there's another mnemonic to learn the terminal branches, which are, actually, is that okay to? It's gonna be, most alcoholics must really urinate. I actually wish I knew why there's so many alcoholic related mnemonics in anatomy, but maybe there's a causation, I don't know, a correlation of some sort with that. Please, if you're an alcoholic, go see help. So our newest alcoholic theme is most alcoholics must really urinate, and that's going to stand for the following branches. So we're going to have musculocutaneous nerve, which we're going to expand right here. We're going to have our axillary nerve. We're going to have our median nerve, and I'll show you a really fun thing with that. We'll have our radial nerve, and we'll have our ulnar nerve. So the really cool thing with the median nerve, by the way, is that it forms an M. Let's see, maybe I get the big crown. You see this M shape? M for median. Yeah, median. M for middle. Let's go. It's a great way of memorizing it. Thank you. I honestly really love the mnemonics. And then median, again, being in the middle between the axillary and radial. It's going to pierce through it. So it's kind of more reinforcement to know, like, hey, this is definitely in the hecking middle, hecker. So this is the basics of the brachial plexus. All those complicated images we basically just saw, this is pretty much it. Kind of. This is like half credit so far. So we talked about our branches right here. There's actually other branches that stem from the whole entire brachial plexus. So let's kind of draw about them, okay? Let us draw about them. So let's go back to our regular brush. So I'm gonna color coordinate them really quick, and then we'll go back into writing and we'll explain what happened. So, whoops, not my brush. So we have one nerve coming from here. We have one nerve that does this. That comes from C5, C6, and C7. It's a long, hecky nerve. We don't have any nerves coming from the no, we do. I lied. We have two nerves coming off the superior trunk. We'll get to those in a little bit. For the chords, we have various nerves coming off it. So we have our lateral, we have our posterior, which has 3 of them coming off it, and then we have our middle that also has 3 coming off it. And then we have no more branches in the branches because that's just what they are. So let's start with our first one. This first one again is going to be coming off of C5 only, and this is going to be our dorsal scapular nerve. I'm going to put this in slightly smaller font. Dorsal scapular nerve. So this is going to innervate some of our muscles in the back, such as the levator scapula and our rhomboids. Our rhomboids especially, well, let me break it down. Levator scapula, it's kind of in the name of its action. It elevates the scapula. It elevates your shoulder blade. So anytime you shrug, ta-da, you got the levator scapula muscle at work. Dorsal scapular also innervates your rhomboid muscles, which is kind of attached, not kind of, they are, which are attached to the medial border or the vertebral border of your shoulder blade. So they're closer to your spine, and they're going to help you adduct or also retract when you kind of squeeze your shoulder blades together. Those rhomboid muscles are definitely going to be at work. So the reason why we also kind of drew the brachial plexus, other than kind of making sure everything's oriented, we can also find out what nerve is innervated by what root. So we see dorsal scapular comes out from C5 only, so the nerve root for dorsal scapular nerve is going to be C5, and then the rest pretty much follow the same pattern. There's some exceptions like the axillary, but we just politely ignored apparently. I had asked my teacher, I'm like, look, I'm really confused, like I'm following the chart and all these nerves are going to axillary, so why is it only C5 to C6? And let me show you my confusion. So if we're doing the whole like, oh, we're following, again, dorsal nerve is going to be off from C5. But if we're trying to use axillary nerve as an example, it's like, oh, it has C7 for sure. And it has C5, C6 because of the anterior branch. So why is axillary nerve only C5, C6? It's just like, oh, the nerves can go there, but they don't have to actually innervate it. So I'm like, huh, okay. So it's whatever, it's whatever. Anyway, so our long boy that we have right here, super long boy that's coming off again from C5, C6, and C7 is going to be our long thoracic nerve. This is actually going to innervate our serratus anterior muscles. Actually, Cubs, you know what I forgot? I recently downloaded a program that I can show you the muscles, so we can actually switch over to that. And I can show you Cubs in the meanwhile. It's just it's a little laggy. Let's see. Let me pull it up. Yeah. Yeah. Yay! Right, let's go. So we're talking about the dorsal scapular nerve, right? So like I said, it's going to innervate your levator scapula, which is going to be this muscle right here. And we have our rhomboid. So again, it's coming off that medial. Oh, you can't see my cursor, heck. One moment. Or apparently it is able. I will just click the highlight. It just takes a little bit, so you'll have to forgive me. This is Poggers, right? I actually really like this program a lot. I like it more on my tablet though, because on the computer it's so slow for whatever reason. Anyway, so we have our levator scapula, which is again the muscle that's going to help elevate our scapula, kind of helping to shrug it forward. Or shrug it forward. Shrug it up. Let's see. Does it do the motion? Ooh, I'm learning things right now. Wow. Shrugging of the shoulder. Wow. Sorry, hold on. I'm sorry. Let's go back. Alright, and then we have our rhomboids. So again, for rhomboids, we have a rhomboid minor, which is going to sit on top. And then we have our rhomboid major. And again, these are going to be important muscles of when we go retract the back. Okay? Alright. Complete anatomy, I love you, but hold on. Oh wait, in the long thoracic nerve. Okay, complete anatomy, come back. So the long thoracic nerve is going to innervate this really wonky muscle called the serratus anterior. And the serratus anterior is actually known as our boxer's muscle. So this is the muscle that's going to help us protract, which is the opposite of retraction, by the way. So retraction is squeezing the shoulder blades. protraction is to bring the shoulder blades away as far as possible. So, can we see that from the back? You see how the shoulder blade is moving forward? That is protraction. And this is what the serratus anterior muscle helps us do. Ta-da! Steady. Hi, Zero. So, thank you for that, Pat. Thank you. Wow. So, those are the few muscles that we are getting to right now from the brachial plexus. So, all right, no more complete anatomy. Now we're back to our MS Paint doodle. Not as fancy, but it's okay. Get this job done. Let's label the rest of them, and then we can have fun in complete anatomy. Because I think being able to see the muscles is just fun. Excuse me. So I have to abbreviate this one. So there's two nerves that come off the superior trunk. So it's going to be nerve to subclavius. Subclavius is a tiny baby muscle. I hope we'll be able to find it. That's right underneath your clavicle. And your clavicle, again, is your collarbone. And the subclavius helps you depress or bring down your collarbone. Why? I don't know. And another nerve that comes off the superior trunk is going to be your suprascapular nerve. This is going to be super important when we talk about our shoulder muscles or the rotator cuff muscles. I think we talked about this last study stream where we talked about the acronym of SITs. So you have your supraspinatus, your infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis. The suprascapular nerve is going to be innervating the supraspinatus and the infraspinatus, which again are muscles of your rotator cuff that we'll look at in a little bit. Your lateral pec, I mean, I don't know, I spoiled it. The nerve that comes off your lateral cord is going to be your lateral pectoral nerve. This is going to innervate, I don't actually remember. So, did you know you have a pec major and a pec minor? The pec major, I think, is innervated by both lateral pectoral nerve and median pectoral nerve, while pec minor is only innervated by the lateral pectoral nerve. But that's something we'll have to double check in a little bit. The posterior cord comes off with 3 nerves, and that's going to be our upper subscapular. And not supra, sub, like below. Upper subscapular, and these are going to be abbreviated, I'm sorry. The middle posterior cord is going to be our thoracodorsal, which is going to innervate our lats, or the latissimus dorsi in the back. And then the last branch coming off the posterior is going to be our lower subscapular. We'll look at that in a little bit. So we have here in the middle, this is going to be dummy. So this is going to be strict abbreviations as well. Let's go over here. So we have our median pectoral nerve. If we have a lateral, we have a medial normally. So the median pectoral nerve. The middle one is going to be, what is it? Median brachial cutaneous nerve. Or no, what was it? I think it's B, only B. Median brachial nerve. And then the last one is MABCN, which is medial antebrachial cutaneous nerve. Sounds really, really, really overwhelming. And it is, because look how hecking long these abbreviations are. Wow. But these two nerves, the median brachial nerve and the medial antebrachial cutaneous nerve, are just going to be sensory nerves. So they're responsible for giving us a sensation for like when we rub our forearm, especially again with our palm up, or when just feeling that sensation. You could think these two beautiful baby boys that come off the medial cord. And then, like I said, we have our branches in yellow, which is going to be our mnemonic of most alcoholics must really urinate. Ta-da! Alright, so let's kind of go back to the muscles, shall we? Or, now that we, maybe not the muscles quite yet. Now that we have a brief overview, this is the again, simplified version of all of this. Wah! Hey, look, it's our M again. You see? M. For median nerve. Wow. Kind of knowing again these divisions is especially important because in my fortunately in my class, unfortunately, it is fortunate, we have cadaver labs, so it's very important to be able to distinguish between what is a root, trunk, division, cord, etc. on a body, because it's gonna be telling of what nerve it's gonna lead to. Like again, if you can identify the posterior being towards the back, you can follow it out, and we'll follow it through our chart that we drew, and you could see like, oh, is it going to the axillary or is it going to the radial side, and is that going to be innervating your muscles? It's going to be very helpful identifiers. Oh Lord, she's studying. Oh Lord, I do be. Hi Bells, hi, welcome. We just got done drawing the brachial plexus, so what are remaining 4 minutes? Complete anatomy. Complete anatomy. Complete anatomy. Come back to me. No, I lost them. Oh, there you are. So we're talking about our rotator cuff muscles earlier, because remember that's gonna be something that comes off the superior trunk with the suprascapular nerve, which is gonna be innervating the supraspinatus muscle right here. Ta-da! Then we have our infra as well, that's gonna be innervated. What other muscles did we talk about? Oh yeah! We had our lateral pectoral nerve. That's going to be innervating the pec major and pec minor. So, you know when people normally refer to booba? Yeah, our male booba. Normally they're referring to the pectoralis major, or also known as, again, just as your pecs. If we were to peel that layer out, then we would have our pec minor, which is right down here. And let's see. From there, we're going down to our, what was it again? So we had our lateral branch, so then we're gonna have our posterior branch, and the posterior branch is going to be oops. And our posterior branch is gonna be again having the upper subscapular nerve, the lower subscapular nerve, and the thoracodorsal. So I think it might be better to see it here, but is there a way to isolate all? Let's see. Fade the others. Ta-da! The upper subscapular and lower subscapular nerve are going to be going to the subscapularis, which again is a part of your rotator, your shoulder muscles that help you with internal rotation especially. Hi Selek, hi, welcome! Yes, my right pec is also currently yellow too. That means you probably have a lot of fat or something. At least on the cadavers, that's what it is. Anything yellow, it's like, oh, that's just fat, just cut it out. And it's like, okay. Alright, and then in between the upper and lower subscapular on our brachial plexus, we have the thoracodorsal nerve, which is going to be innervating our latissimus dorsi, which is this huge muscle on both sides right here. I didn't realize, but the text isn't showing on the side for you guys, like when I stream it, so it's actually a little weird. Sorry about that. But it's okay. I can just BS things and sound smarter, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Like I said, and then the medial pectoral is going to be innervating the pec major, and then the other branches are going to be coming off that middle branch, the really long name ones, the medial brachial nerve and the medial antebrachial cutaneous nerve. That's going to be coming down the arm and down the forearm, like in this area right here, providing that sensation. Yeah, that is the brachial plexus. Now we're just gonna kind of hello, give me back the bones. I want the bones back and the muscles. Yes. Okay, now we're going too far. So I'm gonna be taking a little break just because the Pomodoro is gonna give me like a 5-minute break in the next 20 seconds. But now we'll kind of go over the really cool muscles that we have in the arm muscles and neat ways to remember stuff. Well, if you don't mind. Yeah, I'm super happy we got to see the body. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. Kind of sad. Thank you, timer. Alright, little short break, okay? Ta-da! I'll actually be right back. I'm gonna go stretch. I want the bones back. 2022. I want the bones. Give me the bones. Looking at the muscles to bone connection like this is actually cool, right? It's very like, how do you call it? Innovative. Actually, I shouldn't probably do this too. I'll probably leave it like that. We'll have some more actual interactive experience because I think looking at the muscles is really cool, and there's some kind of spooky stuff like, Cubs, do you have a palmaris longus? Tune in the next 4 minutes and find out. Huh? You want the software to help with your drawing? I got you. I got you. And yeah, just remind me. Send me a DM, Big Ham, and I got you. What? You never had a 3D model to represent it all? Yeah. What do you call it? This is kind of more like newer. My last school was using this and I really liked it, but the school that I'm in right now does use this half the time, but they use another program called Visual Body, and I think it's a little bit outdated slightly. I mean, it's not like the human body evolves magically within like 10 years, but in case it did, it's just not as user friendly, I guess is the right word to say. But I'm glad that they're having these neat tools to like show the body, especially when you can't have like a body like right in front of you. And yes, even though you do have these muscles and you'll be able to palpate them if you contract them, it's a whole nother thing to be able to like feel them and be like, oh my gosh, this is it. So yeah. Anyway, let me go stand up and stretch. You cubs should too, okay? Peer pressure. I'll literally be back right before the timer too, so no worries, okay? 1, 2, be back! What the actual heck? Hi Weber, hi Tiger, hi. I'm so sorry Weber, you caught me like right when I was like, alright, I'm gonna go stand. Wow, standing's great. I'm gonna pop on the bed. It was only a standing break, but I feel weird if I just like, my headphone cable isn't that long, you know? And so I am politely back. I wanted to at least enjoy the last 30 seconds of my break with you cubs. I can't always go off and disappear, but I should also just stand because Blood circulation. But I feel bad. I BRB'd, but I didn't even put the raffle in. I'm so sorry as I join in. Don't bring out the booze though. Holy heck. Good gamble at least. Alright. Let's see. So while that goes, I'm gonna draw out something quick. Come on, Emma's paint. So while that's going, only mana one. Hello. Let's go! Congratulations! 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 Oh, holy heck! I didn't realize my chat boxes. Wait, why is my chat boxes wide? Hello? Oh, hello? What? Sorry, guys. I chair pick. No problem. No problem. Hold on. Wait. Can I do this? What? Huh? And anyway, chat box be chat boxing. Anyway. So let's get back into it, okay? I'll start the timer right. Yeah, I'll start the timer right now. No. Alright, Kryson eats a good pack of ramen. Apparently that's a good thing that people like eat, you know? Like someone's like, oh, you want like something crunchy in your salad, like croutons? Just put some well, you know, uncooked pack of ramen. I'm like, huh? I don't really want to try that right now, TBH. Anyway. Yeah, thank you so much for the headband. Thank you, 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 thank you. So, Cubs, let's do an exercise together, shall we? So, this is your arm, right? Definitely an arm. So, there's a medial. You have your medial side, which is going to be closer to your midline of your body. And then the lateral, which your body should not be there. The lateral is like the outside, right? So, what I want you to do is place. How did the cool again? Let's say if you're using your left arm. Wait, is that the left arm? What arm did I draw? Oh, hold. Wait, raw ramen, not even seasoned? Yeah, just raw. Like I think if you look. Here, Cubs, hold on. I'm gonna stop the timer because I'm being legitimate with this. Hold on. I think it's like ramen salad or something like that. Ramen salad. It even says on the packs that it can also just be eaten uncooked as a snack. What? It looks like the thumb. The thumb is on top. Okay, right. Wait. Did I mean for the thumb to be on top? Oh. Oh. Anyway, look. I want to say like, oh, it's cooked, but then I like see an area like this and I'm like, yeah, it's not cooked. This is what people eat. They eat it like the salad with the uncooked ramen. So I don't know, my dude. Eat your diet, I guess. Eat your diet. Eat what you want to eat and hopefully you're eating okay. All right. I'm going to use my own arm as a reference. It's the thumb on top. And we make the thumb. Well, this. Okay, sorry. This is your thumb. And this is your pinky. Let's make that better distinction kind of slightly, okay? So your thumb should be pointing out. Because your thumb is going to be lateral if you're using your left arm. So with your right hand, you're going to be placing 4 fingers onto it. So you're going to be placing your index, okay, your middle finger, your pointer. I look like salad fingers here. Why? Anyway, you have your thumb is kind of tucked away underneath. Don't ask. So this is again is your index, mid. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Wait, yes it does, because you have a ring finger. How can I forget the ring finger? And your pinky. Yep, that's writing. Anyway, the purpose of this exercise that I am dying over here about is because, let me start the timer, is because if you place your hands on your elbow in the median side towards the middle of the midline, you're going to be touching the side of your elbow, and you're going to be touching the medial epicondyle. From the medial epicondyle, those 4 fingers that we have splayed on our body is going to represent the muscles. So because we have our palm up, because we have our palm up and our fingers splayed like this, you go in this following descending order. You would technically be touching with your index finger, you'll be touching your pronator teres. Your middle finger will be touching the flexor carpi radialis. Your ring finger will be touching your palmaris longus, and your pinky will be touching your flexor carpi ulnaris. So like I said, when you have your palm up, every muscle that's in the front of your arm are going to be your flexors. So here's another cool activity that we can also do together. So some people actually don't have a palmaris longus. So what the heck does that mean? Let's take out paint and let's go back to complete anatomy. So remember, we splayed our 4 fingers out. So look, we have our pronator teres right here and highlighted. We have our next one, which is going to be the flexor carpi radialis muscle. We have our palmaris longus. And then we have our, drumroll, flexor carpi ulnaris. So, I don't remember the statistic, but a lot of people actually don't have a palmaris longus. I actually don't have this muscle. So how to check is that, maybe I have to bring Emma's paint back, I hope not. So if you touch your thumb and your pinky together and you see like a tendon or a bump come off from your wrist, you have a palmaris longus. Easy, simple, very straightforward. There's nothing wrong with not having one. You're gonna live. I lived for 17 years. For over 17 years plus without a palmaris longus, but it's just a really cool fact. Like, it's just like your body's like, yep, you don't need it. How big is the bump? Not really big. Let me see if I can pop up a picture really quick. Palmaris longus. And then do I have it? What did I just call you? Hi, Preston. Hi, hi. Hi. I called you a palmaris longus. So let's see. Like this? Oh wait, you can't see this. Oh shit, your points? Wait. I will politely refund you. One moment. So when you do touch your pinky and your thumb together, you should have like a small tendon pop out like this. And that's going to be your palmaris longus. Again, not everyone has one, and actually if you do have one, it's cool because if you ever need surgery, the tendon piece to it's just really, really long, and if you ever need an extra piece of tendon, you could just use it. So super cool stuff. Okay, anyway, I'm so sorry. Let me get the point refund really quick if I can remember. I do have those. Neat, right? Super neat. I don't remember how big. I only have it on the left arm. Oh, that's fine. That is super fine. So do not worry. Alright, Preston, you should be good. You got your points back. I pinky bear promised you. Alright. So going back into our complete anatomy. And more body parts to sell, I guess. Let's see. Complete anatomy, come back to me. Come back to stream. Don't be shy. Thank you. So, in this direction that we have, again, anatomical position that we're in, where our palms open and we identified our 4 muscles. Just on the forearm alone, forearm considered, again, elbow down to the wrist, you're gonna have 3 layers of flexor muscles. So let's kind of peel back our muscles, which sounds absolutely horrifying. I know, and I apologize. So we're gonna politely hide our 4 muscles. Again, the pronator teres, the flexor carpi radialis. Our palmaris longus we're gonna hide. And then we're also going to be hiding our flexor carpi ulnaris, so hide that. So again, we're gonna be in our second layer of flexor muscles, and it's gonna be this bad boy over here. And this boil is called the flexor digitorum superficialis muscle. So very long name, which you can see the names. I don't know why they don't have it, but the flexor digitorum superficialis says what it does in its name at least. So what's gonna happen is that it's going to help flex the digits, hence digitorum, and digits referring to our fingers, superficially, because if we have a superficialis, we must have a deeper layer, and that deeper layer is going to be our profundus. So for the flexor digitorum superficialis, it's actually only going to go, oops, look back. You see where it stops right here? It's only going to flex our fingers just a little bit. So our fingers are really interesting. Let's see. I hope this is okay to identify. I think it might be easier to have like a little baby cursor. So let me pull up an image really quick. What's a cool cursor I can use? This bearcat. Don't ask me why I have pictures of bearcats, okay? Anyway. I'll just call that flex muscles. Honestly, that's it. Fingers are so, and how they work are so weird. Honestly. So, your fingers, with the exception of your thumb, is divided into different phalanges or phalanxes. So you have your proximal, being proximal closer again to your body, your middle, and your distal phalanx. So your superficialis does not go that deep. It's still technically on the superficial level, and it's going to only, what do you call it? Stop right here, and it's only going to be responsible for flexing your hands up into this point. So these are your knuckles right here. So that first line past your knuckles, which should be right up here for your fingers, again, for all of them that are not your thumb. When you flex it, and that's going to be the flexor digitorum superficialis responsible for. But if you're able to flex the tips of your fingers, like the very tippy top tips, the digital phalanx, that's going to be the, how do you call it? Flexor digitorum superficialis, which is what we're going to look at now, okay? The phalanx, the metacarpals, and the carpals, yeah! You got your metacarpals right here, which you can't see under this. And your carpals, which are all the bones, which is it's something that we can try to get into in a little bit. The hand muscles still kind of messed me up, and that's something that I would like to go over with you cubs if possible. That's gonna be like a straight up learning experience, so please forgive me. Small tendons always has been, baby. Your muscle it ends pretty early, to be honest. Like, you see all these tendons. Woo! Sorry, you can't see it because you can't see my cursor, but all the white right here is all tendons. So all the tendons coming up here is just crazy. Oh, I can flex the tips of my fingers? I hope you can. If not, I was gonna cry. Oh my god, my bones are tendon. No. Here, look, listen. Tendon? It's okay. Tendon is just muscle attaching to bone. Yeah, it's okay. So yes. So the flexor digitorum superficialis muscle that we're looking at right now is going to be the only muscle in our second layer. So we're actually going to hide this one. And, or not fade, hide. And now we're left with the two remaining muscles in our arm. So for this one, this is our flexor digitorum profundus muscle. So unlike the superficialis, it goes way further. The superficialis, I think, ended like right here. So this one's gonna be at the base of the distal phalanx right here. Ta-da! Ta-da! What is this muscle that did I not hide this? What is this? Oh, this is your thumb muscle. Okay, this doesn't count. This doesn't count. That doesn't count. I'm sorry. I'm politely I should probably fade you so I don't completely forget about you. And so then when we take out this, we'll hide it over here. The other muscle that's going to be in our forearm is going to be, drumroll, the pronator quadratus. So it's really weird to think that we have a square muscle on our wrist. So pronator quadratus, the square muscle, is going to be responsible for pronation, which is when, if we have again our hand in this anatomical position, so what you see now, palm up, if we put it palm down, like you know how you're holding a cup of soup, now spill that cup of soup out, turn your wrists around, you're gonna feel a little bit of that muscle contraction. Isn't that crazy? And all that's gonna be responsible with the pronator quadratus, as well as some other muscles like our pronator teres, which was one of the first 4 muscles that we were touching on superficially. Yes. Yeah. So we'll hide that, and ta-da! We're done with all the forearm flexor muscles. The thumb muscles, holy heck, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But right now, let's actually move and do our extensors, okay? Oops, I don't mean to keep staring at this person's booty. So the extensors are very pretty, very pretty muscles, but they are kind of thin boys. So let's get started, okay? So our first muscle up here is gonna be our brachial Wait, it's not? Sorry. What? It says it's not the brachial radialis. Wait. This can't be the brachial radialis. What's happening? Did I accidentally take it off? Or did I never add it on? Eh? Hold on. It's cycling back through again. This guy doesn't have a brachial radialis. Get him! Doing the big think? I am thinking right now why this guy doesn't have a brachial radialis. Hi SG, hi though, hi. Let's go look for it. There's a search option here, which again I don't know why it won't show you cubs. Like I guess it's anti-streaming or whatever, but it's whatever. Now it doesn't want to type. Brachiocephalic, no, brachial. Stop freezing. Brachial radialis. Yeah? Wait, why did it zoom in like that? Huh? Huh? Freezing do be the worst? That a do be. Hold on. Isolate. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Yeah. Okay, anyway, so I guess we're moving to the other hand now. So this is your brachial radialis. This was a muscle that was not supposed to go away with the flexor muscles. Kanai Joe? Thank you, Ashi. So, the brachial radialis is interesting. I know we said we're going to move to our extensors, but the brachial radialis is kind of that midpoint or like really good landmark divider of the flexor muscles and our extensor muscles, which is why I was so thrown off when I didn't see it in the other arm. So please forgive me for my franticness. So the brachial radialis is interesting because it does flex. As you see, it's going to follow the same rule as if it's in the front of the arm, it's going to flex. But this one only flexes when it's slightly already flexed. That's a really weird concept, but more alcoholic references. The brachial radialis is known as our beer drinking muscle. So you know you're shooting the heck with your buddies, your pals, whatever. You have a cold drink in your hand, and you know you're kind of at that 90-degree angle. from that 90-degree angle, when you go try to like sip the can or sip your drink or whatever like that, that's when the brachial radialis will kick in. Isn't that interesting? Such a big muscle too to only kick in when doing that, but it's whatever. Alright, now we can move on to the extensors. Holy heck. So the extensors, there's really not necessarily layers. What you see is pretty much what you get. You're telling me it's time to drink. Well, I'm telling you it's important to stay hydrated. I'm just telling you, I don't know why there's so many, how do you call it, alcoholic references, hecker. Anyway. Hydrate? Oh, thank you. I'm free. Keep it hydrated. Thank you, thank you. So, from the brachial radialis muscle, we're going to be moving our way back to the extensor muscles. So, this is going to be, if we had a flexor carpi radialis, we're going to have a extensor carpi radialis. Extensor because it's on the extension side, carpi because it's going to go past the wrist, and carpi or carpal is another word for wrist, hence like the syndrome that you hear about carpal tunnel. And longest because, oh boy, that boy do be long. But in all seriousness, if you have a longus, that means you have a brevis, which is going to be a slightly shorter muscle. So if this is our extensor carpi radialis longus, this is going to be our extensor carpi radialis brevis. Okay, give me one moment. Let me also pause the time. Again, I wish you could see the names and everything, so I wonder if it's better. I don't know if it's better to just display caption. Yeah, apparently it's better to do that. Well, this one's much nicer. Why? That one. Okay, cool. That's just so much nicer. I'm so sorry, Cubs, for like having you suffer like that. Anyway, oh, the wrist is such a the wrist is just a funky little bunch of tendons. Honestly, yeah, and the nerves and all that. Like this is all fresh right here. I don't think there's any way to select all of them, but we can also go over the wrist if you Cubs would like to as well. There's a really fun way to kind of memorize it. I used to really like this mnemonic, how do you call it? Some lovers try positions that they can't handle, but I found a better one that will definitely, how do you call it? Be more intuitive. Yeah. So, if you have, again, your longest right here, then you're gonna have your brevis, which is slightly shorter. So you saw how the longest attaches right up here? The brevis is gonna be down here. From there, we're gonna have our extensor digitorum muscle. So similar thing with the superficialis and profundus. Look how far it extends down the finger to just help extend your fingers. You do your gow claw marks, and then you stretch your fingers, and those tendons here are going to be again coming from that extensor digitorum muscle. But wait, Tippa, you skipped some muscles. Yes, I did. So there's dream muscles playing hide and seek right here. This is also going to be known as our brevis sandwich. So again, we talked about the longest and brevis, longest being like a slightly longer muscle, brevis being slightly shorter. Well, this muscle right here, we're going to start off with our bread. This is going to be a longus of some sort. This is going to be our abductor pollicis longest muscle. From the abductor pollicis, this is standing for abduction. Abduction means that they're going to bring the thumb away from the midline of the body. So kind of bringing your thumb away from the palm of your hand. Pollicis standing for thumb, and longest because it's a pretty long muscle. From that, we're going to have the brevis, and this is going to be our extensor pollicis brevis muscle. So if this is our adductor pollicis longus, this is going to be our extensor pollicis brevis. And then with this, the smaller muscle right here is going to be our extensor pollicis longus. So wait. Where is our brevis? Oh yeah, I remember. So the abductor pollicis brevis is actually gonna be on the thumb itself. So let me put it over here so you cubs can see. Not that one. This one? No, where's our adductor? Hello? I want a refund? The oblique head of adductor pollicis muscle. Oh, heck off. Well, there it is. Wait, no, but it's adductor. Holy heck. Okay, here? Are you no, but these are the lumbar. No. Alright, cubs, we're gonna do some research really quick. Now I'm just curious. This is where it gets to learning for myself. So, adductor pollicis longus. So, no. Okay. Well, we lost it. We okay. Ad? Or was it ab? No, I think it was abductor. So, abductor pollicis brevis. What? Did I not click that earlier? Okay, so that's... Hold on. Because I needed to get the timer for one moment. I'm gonna call the factory for an adductor. Please. So this is your adductor pollicis brevis muscle, right? And so if that's your abductor pollicis brevis muscle, this is gonna be your longus. But that doesn't matter. I'm just saying if you have a longus, there's a brevis, and that's the brevis, and this is still gonna be a part of your sandwich. The adductor pollicis longus muscle, our extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus. Bam! And again, we have our extensor digitorum. Now moving more medially. This muscle right here, I'm actually not sure, so let's check it out. Oh, heck! I forgot, cubs, so... Weird, but you actually have a muscle designated for just extending your pinky. You also have one for your index finger as well. So the one that's going to be responsible for extending your pinky is going to be called the extensor digiti minimi. Wow, like a little mini. Someone made like an Austin Powers reference. I'm like, wow. Actually, surprisingly, though I'm familiar with the name, have not watched the movie. Alright, this one's going off to the side a little bit, so this one should be our extensor carpi ulnaris muscle. Bam! So we have our... Again, we have our flexor, so again we have an extensor carpi ulnaris. And then what is this oil right over here? And that's going to be our flexor carpi. Okay, so then once we get over here, we're going to end up in the flexors again. So once we curve over here, ta-da! Extensor carpi. But we have a secret muscle over here. I said there was one that's going to help you with pointing your finger. So can we find it? The index finger? Is it one of these? Let's see. I didn't know evolution was a fan of Austin Powers. Yeah, baby. Yeah, why not? Honestly. Whoa, is this just the muscle here? Let's see if we can hide the others. Whoa, look at this bad boy. So this is the muscle. Maybe fading others is probably better. So this tiny baby muscle that's hiding definitely underneath the extensor digitorum, and it's going to be right besides the extensor carpi ulnaris, is going to be the extensor indicis muscle. Ta-da! That's going to be right here all the way down to the distal phalanx, and again that's going to help extend and point your finger. Very important for directions, but don't be rude. Point with more than one finger, because you know what's accepted in a lot of people's cultures and all that stuff, you know? You know, there's actually something really funny, and I don't mean to call her out, so I won't put names. But I was very surprised. Like, you know, in America it's very rude to point, but I guess in other countries it's not. It's just like, hey, look at that guy, and I'm like, don't do that, don't do that. It's like, hey, look at those people over there. I'm like, please don't point to them. So it's super, super funny for the like small culture shock that I had. Anyway, so that's gonna be all our forearm extensors and the flexor muscles of the forearm. The hand gets a little tricky, but we only have about 3 minutes, so let's try to see if we can remove some of these muscles. A bearcat! Whoops, wrong direction. No, it's the right direction. I see it. I believe. You could just be pointing to the bear and be like, yeah, that's it. No, you're good, you're good. So let's hide these, okay? A bearcat! It's okay, it's okay. So, sorry, there's a torn, so we're gonna hide this. I just want to get the wrist bones alone, and then we can look at the thumb when we come back from break. And I think I might politely wrap it up from there, because Rip and Fwens wanted to play some Fortnite, and I still got some things left on the battle pass. No, did I? Oh, I didn't mean a fader. Holy heck! Panta cute. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Right. We're almost there. We're almost there. Hide. Right. So. Wait, why did I just wait? I'm so dumb. I'm so dummy. 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 I could have just removed the muscles. Ah, I forgot there was an option to do that. Anyway, so hi, welcome to the wrist bones. Let's go. We're gonna not look at it from the view I wanted to look at. I guess that's okay. Life happens. Anyway, so this would be better if this was kind of pointing more towards our direction, or if it was flipped. But would you believe you have 8 bones in your wrists? Like this line right here, it's your knuckles. So when your knuckles, the hands, and then what's above, like that bump that you thought was your wrist, is just this. And slightly above that bump in your wrist is going to be all the wrist bones that you have, which is why when people fall on outstretched hands, it gets kind of stinky. A very stinky situation. So there's very interesting mnemonics to learn about the bones. Like I said, there's one that it's called like some lovers try position that they can't handle. The one that I like is, or that I recently discovered was, so where am I? So long to pinky, here comes the thumb. So it kind of gives you a better orientation. So let's kind of break it down in this next minute. So the so is going to be the scaphoid bone, which is this big boy right here. So long, this is going to be our lunate. A lot of people like to associate it as moon shape. I don't really see that, so please use your imagination. So long, 2. This is gonna be our triquetrum bone, or our wrist bone, and sitting on top of that is gonna be our pisiform. So long to pinky. That's our first line right there. From the pisiform is actually a bone that you can feel pretty prominent on your wrist. It's very tender, so please be careful. If you go down your pinky finger, again below the knuckles, right above the bone articulation with the wrist bones, and you press a little bit hard on it, you should feel like a soft tender bump, and that's gonna be your pisiform. Hold on, I know the timer's up, but hold on. I gotta go for now. Have a great rest of your stream. Have fun with Fortnite if you play later. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day at work. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you. For your pisiform, you're gonna have the other acronym of here comes the thumb. So the next bone we're going to be talking about is the hamate, which is also going to refer to the hook of hamate, and that is going to be another interesting thing to palpate, also really tender. I forgot what goes to the hook of hamate. I want to say it's your nerve, but I have to double check. Say the bad word? I got you. Say hi. Heck, how's your stream? Welcome. This bone is rather tender? Yes, I can confirm. Bones do be tender, especially the smaller ones. So here comes The C is starting for capitate. Capitate is a very easily identifiable bone as well. If you were to just I think this is the bone that if you do the wrist drop position, like if you're kind of like, oh no, I'm a zombie or a ghost, and my wrists are kind of like flexed downwards, and you rub like rub above like your wrists, you'll feel like a small dent, and that dent will be the capitate. So here comes the or the, and that's gonna represent the trapezoid bone, which I guess could look like a trapezoid. And then our last one, here comes the thumb, and that T is gonna stand for trapezium, or as my classmates like to say, trapezi thumb. Thumb being again on the dumb side, and trapezium sounding like dumb. Well, that's the wrist bones. When we come back from our little 5-minute break, we will look at the hand. This is again like a completely new thing to me, so you'll have to forgive me. And I think we can go from there, because the rest right now, even though I want to learn, like the important thing is that I'm able to identify it, like preferably on a body, or identify it in like a 3D model like this. But another component that I need to know is, where does it actually originate from? Where does it actually insert from? What is its nerve innervation, and what is its action? Thankfully, a lot of the actions are known in the name, and we know a good chunk of the nerve innervation due to the brachial plexus. But origin and insertion kind of stinky, so we'll kind of get through that in a little bit. There's not that many muscles on the hand either, so well, I'm gonna posture check. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna be standing up. Let's go. And hydrating. Let's go. You know how to have a good break. Reva says seems like very interesting mnemonics here. But yeah, you need to do anything to remember. Heck this. Heck, what do you call it? Anatomy or anything hard. There has to be a good way to make it easy. And even if it's like the dummiest, wackiest things, those dummy, wacky things normally are the ones who able to stick with. Wait, I'm not even speaking English anymore. I'm so sorry. Mnemonics just help me stick to things, or they're very easy for me to remember, because even if I don't necessarily remember the right word, I can remember the wackiness of the mnemonic that I learned from, and then I could kind of like weasel my way into like an answer, especially if it's multiple choice. Self-care moment? Yes, let's go. Let me go hydrate, and I will also politely stand. Alright. Let's see. I want to stand. One moment. Quick stand moment. Wah. Headphones away. Distant. Ah. 30 seconds, not even 30 seconds of standing. 5 seconds standing to compensate from the next 8 hours of sitting. Let's go. Yeah, technically it's also, what do you call it? Not me BRB, but I'm taking my mental break, so I'll do a cute little BRB raffle, even if I'm not at the BRB screen. Yeah. Oh wait, I should also join it though. Heck, dummy brain. Hi sis, hi. Welcome. Welcome. Let's see. I have some of my note cards here. But they're, again, it's just not gonna be fun to go through, and it's not as fun if I don't get to show you guys like my actual note cards either. Hi Teru, hi, welcome. Robo, congratulations! Welcome. Why are we getting single winner? Oh, Robo, why? Why? I want to see how many points I have. Hold on. Points. Let's go! I knew. That's why I have so many. How? And I know Taro's like a gamble addict, so I don't know. Oh, I'm so scared. What if I do this? Oh no! The biggest bruh moment. This is not the way I wanted to go out, my dudes. Not the way. What? It's okay. It's okay. It's just points. I'll get them back by watching my own stream. Or have another raffle. We're gonna cheat the system. I'm just gonna have a bunch of offline raffles. I'm gonna get my top. I'm gonna get back to the top. Hopefully. But yeah. I don't want to learn more about the hand, but I have to. Is there another layer that we need to fix? Let's go! Redemption arc! Congratulations, Blood Nices and me! I'm sorry, Teru. I'm sorry, Teru could only join this one raffle. What if I just spam raffle? Someone should learn about the hand. Oh, the hand sucks. I'm gonna not lie to you. I'll be lucky Amadi from the shadows. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I appreciate ya. What do you call it? I only have the hand left because what happens in my course, it's kind of, well, I mean, there's other things. Look at the Titan, Aaron Yeager. No, there's other muscles we can kind of talk about briefly that I need to know about after the hand, and I think I can wrap it up from there. Alright. Oh heck! Tip of printing her own Monopoly money. Let's go! I've never I was gonna don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I would never. Does it anyway. Alright. So let's go off strong on our potential last Pomodoro. Shall we? Oh no, Blood Knight, no! No! Big loaf, I'm sorry. Alright, let's stay strong, Cubs. So, last 25 minutes, let's go! So, the hand is a little more complicated. So, right before our break, we were talking about the 8 wrist bones. And from there, we go from the regular bones, we have the metacarpal and our phalanges. But let's talk about the muscles. So, we had talked about our muscles that are going to the thumb when we were talking about the extensor side. And again, this is going to be our brevis sandwich, with the longest being our bread. So this is going to be our abductor pollicis longus. Again, going all the way to the thumb right here at the base of the metacarpal. Then we're going to have our extensor, which is going to be at the base of the proximal phalange. Because what happens is that the thumb, unlike the other fingers, doesn't have 3 bones. It doesn't have a distal. Excuse me. I don't think I'll click it. It doesn't have a proximal, middle, or distal phalanx. It only has a distal it only has a proximal or a distal. There's no middle. So as we see, the extensor was going to base up. And then if that's going to be our brevis, then we have our extensor pollicis longus right here, which again, longest meaning longer, and it's going to be at the base of the distal phalanx. So we have our 3 muscles that are not necessarily at the thumb or originate from the thumb, but still insert into it. So let's go back into our hand muscles. So let's see what this muscle is. This muscle is going to be our opponent's pollicis muscle. So the opponent's is going to, well, actually let's actually break it down and take a step further. You have your thumb and your pinky, and we have specific muscles going into them, and then the general audience of muscles that just don't go into the thumb. When we're talking about our thumb and pinky, we're talking about like thenar and hypothenar muscles. On both sides of the thumb and the pinky, you're always going to have a muscle to help you with opponents. You're going to always have a muscle to help you, I think, adduct, and you're always going to have a muscle that's going to help you flex. The order and the arrangements actually vary from each side, and that's the only thing I'm not really quite versed in, so I apologize. But when we refer to opponent's Plexus, again, we're talking about the movement of opposition. Opposition in anatomy is when you're able to touch your pinky and your thumb together, or your thumb to any other finger. So like if you're doing like a count, each finger touching the thumb, that's opposition. And that little tiny muscle helps in all that. Now the muscle right underneath is going to be your flexor pollicis muscle. Hi Sky, hi. I don't even know what sound a chinchilla makes, but thank you, I appreciate you. Hi. Flexor pollicis brevis muscle, that's again going to be helping to flex the thumb. You see its location right here at the proximal phalanx, and it's going to be the brevis, so our longest. I don't remember how long our longest is. I'm quiet. Hi Blue, hi, welcome. Huh? Do chinchillas make a bird sound? Heck. Anyway, so which program is this? This is called Complete Anatomy. There's also another program that my school uses called Visual Body, but either one should do you well. I think for Complete Anatomy there is a trial if that's something you want to like look if that's something you want to look at, for sure. Alright, so this is our adductor pollicis muscle right here, and I believe these are like the 3 other muscles that are on your hand that go to the thumb. So I'm actually gonna hide these. I want to see if there's anything like underneath it. Hide, and last one, hide. So what is this one? Okay, so you have these muscles called interosseous muscles, and they're very interesting. I don't know that much about them, so let's read a little bit. So the action is that it helps adducts the index finger at its metacarpal phalangeal joint, simultaneously flexes the MCP joint, and extends IP joints to the index finger. Alright, we're gonna have to see this in motion. Excuse me, hold on. Alright, so let's see how I can help it flex. Yeah? It's going, it's thinking. Oh, that's actually really interesting. It contracts and it brings it up. And so what did we say? It said that I was going to help flex the IPs? Sure, so interosseous engage. Bam! Well, that's interesting. That's not something I would have seen or noticed. Sometimes it's very unfortunate, but for me, muscles are not like intuitive. I know a lot of people are like, just look at where it inserts to. That's what's gonna act on. And I understand that point. But if you told me that helped with finger flexion, I would have been like, huh? What? And it helps with finger adduction as well. We're learning together. So let's read it again now that we saw the actions. So help adduct the index finger at the MCP, and we said this was the MCP right here. Oh no, don't click it. Oh no. Adding the MCP and simultaneously flexes the joint. Okay. How do you do it simultaneously? There was 2 different action videos that we just saw. You know what? Politely ignores the interosseous. But as you see, there's different types right here. So we'll flip it back. And we'll look at this muscle. This is gonna be, okay, so this is adductor pollicis muscle. Okay, so there's a small exception to when I'm like, I can't really tell what muscles do what. So this is gonna insert from here. We see it on the thumb, and it makes sense with the muscle fibers as well that it would pull in, hence adduct, or the adduction movement. So we'll hide that one right here. What is this? Oh, our lumbricals. Okay, cool. So our lumbricals are very interesting muscles, same with the interosseous, where I have very little knowledge to be able to teach, unfortunately, about it. But apparently these are going to help with, let's see, simultaneously flex the MCP joint and extends IP joint to the index finger. So it's going to be doing the opposite of the interosseous? Huh? Wasn't it said that there are more bones in your hand and feet than the rest of your body? I wouldn't be surprised, yeah. So like what layer of skin we're on? 6? Okay. Like look at your feet. Your feet alone. Let's see. Sorry, I know this is slightly off topic, but not as off topic as you think, just to let you know how much bones your feet have. Holy heck. Hide. Hide again. Look at these bad boys. So similar to the hands where you have like your distal phalanxes. You have the distal here. You're gonna have your middle. You're gonna have your proximal. You're gonna have your metatarsals here. You're gonna have a whole arrangement of bones for God knows whatever reason right here. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 18. You have 18 bones in the toes alone. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yeah, you have 26 bones in your feet right now. Unless I counted completely wrong, then probably. But yeah, 26 bones in comparison to like this one big bone that you have in your lower leg in addition to the fibula. Like, yeah. I can believe it. Anyway. There's your feet, Priya. That's actually how my class is divided again, is that we only learn about upper extremities, and then the next class in the next trimester we'll learn about the leggies. So please look forward to that. The feet aren't so bad as the hands. The hands again are just going to be your most complicated thing. Anyway, I feel like it took up more than I needed. Holy heck, I feel like I'm missing some pinky muscles. What? Anyway, so this muscle that's highlighted right here is going to be your adductor digiti minimi. Abductor. Abductor means to adduct, which means to take away from the body, and so adducts little finger at its MCP. Okay. Was there anything at the back that we're missing? No? Did I overcomplicate the hand for no reason? Yeah? Okay. Where did I end up in? No. Bring me back. So the hand? Kind of funky. Until I get a little bit more practice throughout the week, I feel really bad of just being like, yep, that's that. Now we can look at our titan face. So in addition to the hand, we're learning some other kind of, not necessarily accessory muscles, but things we should just kind of know. So I'll briefly go over like the etc. muscles that we need to go through. So we have our sternocleidomastoid muscle, which is really interesting because it seems like a very long, complicated name. But sternocleidomastoid just literally stands for the, or represents where it's attaching and inserting to. So it's going to attach to the sternum, and sternal, it's going to have some, this is just one side. This is also the sternocleidomastoid. You have two parts of the NCM. So you have a part of it connecting to the sternum, hence sternal. You have a part of it connecting to the clavicle, hence clido. And then all these muscles connect to the mastoid process, which is right here. So that is why it has this big booty name of sternocleidomastoid. This muscle is going to be one that helps you flex and laterally flex the neck and rotates the head. So when it says laterally flex, it means like side bending like this. Credible source has confirmed. Thank you. That makes sense. Huh? More in the hands and feet than the rest? Oh yeah, no, 100%. Did they give an exact number for your resource? Yeah, for sternocleidomastoid, this is the muscle you have on both sides. So again, helps with flexion of the head like this. Side bending, which is all like this. And rotation is just the head turns like this and this. In between your sternocleidomastoid and your traps or your trapezius, which are going to be these big, that's the elevator scalp. I don't have enough layers of skin. Hold on. Vino's the source. Oh, I trust in Vino. No worries, no worries. So this is the whole human body right here. All the muscles attached. So in between the traps, which I will politely get rid of, I should just put the layer down. We're gonna have these muscles right in here. For these muscles right in here, these are gonna be called our scaling muscles. Certified bone enthusiast? Honestly, I can respect it and her line of work. She needs to teach me all the cool bony landmarks on the radial and ulna because I don't actually know this quite yet. It's a little confusing for my small bearcat brain. Anyway, so scaling muscles are really interesting because there's 3 of them. You have an anterior, you have a middle, and you have a posterior. So you have one in the front, one in the middle, one in the back. This is also going to help laterally flex the neck, elevate depending on which one you're talking about. The last one's going to help elevate your second rib, and the first one's going to help elevate your first rib. But all together, they're actually an accessory respiratory muscle. So, let me see. If you have to kind of, there's no good way I can indicate this. Let's see. Because I'm like, oh, go find your sternocleidomastoid mastoid cubs. Go find that muscle. Okay, right behind it, you're going to find your scaling muscles. All right, take it like a forced inhalation. Go. And you're going to feel like a muscle belly pop up. And those are going to be your scaly. But even without contracting the SCM, I believe in your abilities to find the scaling muscle. Again, if you use this image as a reference and you do a deep inhalation or that force, you're gonna feel the muscle belly pop into you, and I just think that's so cool. I don't remember if there's any other weird wacky muscles that I need to learn right now. Oh, I think I need to know about the abs. Sorry again, it's Monday. I haven't got to my notes. The weekend's also my break, so z. So you have this really cool structure called the linea alba right here. So when you see those people with their 6-packs, or when you see like the anime characters with this line, it's gonna, be this line right here. Just a fibrous band that goes all the way from the xiphoid process of the sternum to the pubic symphysis. So, I don't think I'm gonna be getting into there anytime soon. It's just where your hips joined. So slow though. Anyway, then you have obviously your abdominals, your rectus abdominal muscles, your 6-pack and all that good stuff, or your tummy. You're gonna have your transverse abdominals right here, or not. Oh no, not transverse. I'm sorry, I lied. They're gonna be your external abdominal oblique. So we're gonna hide these. And then from there, this is gonna be your internal abdominal oblique muscles right here. So that makes sense because we had our external right here. Peel a layer off, we got our internal. And let's not do that. Let's hide this. And then this is gonna be our transverse. Transverse because to the muscle fiber direction. I know it's kind of stinky because it does look like this one a little bit, but you see how straight these lines are? This is also on a much deeper layer in consideration to the external obliques. So yes, question mark? I think that those are all the muscles that I needed to know. Hopefully with good practice and good review, I'll be able to identify it and life will be good. The only thing I could probably use for the remaining last 8 minutes is that we can go over a bone. Not a bone specialist by any means, but we can talk about it. So we talked about our wrist bones. We talked pretty much a good chunk of our hand bones. So let's talk about the forearm bones. Did you know you have a bone called the ulna? You have this bone called the radius. They're really cool because the ulnar bone is going to have this U shape, like crescent moon shape, and it's going to hook onto our elbow. This is going to help with, again, our flexion and extension movement. Our radial, it's kind of wonky. It just sits there. It kind of has like a hammerhead, not a hammerhead, like the nail head kind of silhouette or build to it. Kind of like, huh? What? So let's kind of look at the parts of maybe not the radius right now. This one's a little more difficult. Let's look at some of the landmarks of the ulnar bone. So let's try to identify it, shall we? So we definitely, this is our head. Or that's not our head, that's our olecranon. Holy heck. These are going to be our notches. This is saying that this is a trochlear notch. And then right over here is going to be our radial notch. So this notch right here is going to be going with the trochlear of our humerus. So that kind of indent or gap that I was showing, or that you saw it hook onto. And this radial notch is going to be responsible for the radius that's right beside it. That's going to have it kind of sit into it. Is this a darker purple? Yes, it is. This is going to be your coronoid process, Ona. And I was like, why is this? Apparently there's just a small protrusion that it creates, which is this green right here. And coronoid is just an anatomical term for a protrusion, something that sticks out. So I thought that was really interesting because you can really only see it like one way. This light purple is going to be a subtubercle. Okay, that's not on our notes. I could politely skip it. I'm not going to go look into it, but this I know is very important. Going to be our tuberosity of ulna. It has some muscle attachments that we'll talk about a little bit later when I'm more familiar with the origins and insertions. Gonna be our supinator fossa, where our oh no, I didn't even get to show you our supinator muscle. Heck, well, we already saw your pronator muscle and you saw your other pronator muscle, but I didn't even get to show you. I'm so sorry. This is the entire bone is the shaft, and then at the end we're going to have our, let's see, this is the head. Oh no, what? I guess. Sorry, you always think of heads being on top, but I guess in this case not. So this is going to be the head of ulna. This is going to be the articular circumference of the head of ulna, which is not on our notes, but this bad boy is. This tiny bad boy. Ta-da! This is going to be our styloid process. This is what, again, you feel as your bump on your wrist. Or where you think your wrists are, you know? Alright. Now we can go look at the landmarks of the radius. Conditions and exercise? Oh, that's so good. Hello? Alright, hold on. Parts. Landmarks? Yeah? Landmarks? Yeah? Alright, let's see where the head of this one is. What? Is it saying the head is this? And what's this? Articular circumference of head of radius. Okay, so these two are definitely just the head. Didn't have to spook me out like that. So this should be the neck. Yep. You got a head, you got a neck. This right here is going to be your radial tuberosity. This is going to be the insertion site for the bicep brachii, so your bicep muscle on the top of the arm. Let's see. Oh, look how many. Alright, what's this? This is your radiostyloid process. Okay, this is also the protrusion that's going to stick out, but this time this is the one that's going to be on your thumb side. The other styloid process I was talking about with the ulnar is going to be on your pinky side. Then let's see these cool things right here. These are grooves for the extensor muscle tendons. So these are where, when you remember how we saw all those tendons connecting to the fingers especially, this groove is just where they're going to pass by or sit into. And then this thing back here, that's going to be our dorsal radial tubercle. So dorsal meaning back, radial meaning that we are on the radius, and tubercle meaning that it's also a protrusion. See the little bump? And I guess we are done with the head, not the head of the radius, just the radius in general. Big heck. Alright. I'm not a bone specialist, but these are the bones. Oh, let's not look at the head though. It's a little scary. Another thing I'll have to learn, but I don't think I'm going to be going over into any body study stream right now, or any study stream at all for this, is I have to learn the arterial system of the arm, which doesn't look so bad in comparison to the whole torso of the body. So, big relief, you know? For now, I think that's a wrap. I think that's a wrap. With 2 minutes to spare, let's go! Alright, let me close this. We'll have our timer. And I think we'll be okay. Let's see if I can open up Twitch on the other side as well. Thank you for the cheers. I appreciate it. Thank you everyone for joining me for yet another study stream. I know with this new school it's not as fun to do study streams because I don't feel like the information is unfortunately as streamlined, but we're gonna make it happen, okay? Brain training is tiring, exactly. But again, having this brief review and at least seeing the muscles and being like, hey, I remember when I was talking about this, is really gonna help out. So thank you everyone for joining me for brain training adventure. Woo! Yeah. Nice studies. Looking forward to your book. No, I don't think I'm gonna have a book anytime soon, but I appreciate you. Thank you for believing in me. But yeah, I have the Discord for anyone who is new or like to join. Today or later tonight we're gonna be watching more JoJo Stone Ocean, so please feel free to come on and check it out with that. We're towards the later half though. I think we're on episode 9? 8? No, 9. Oh goodness, we'll figure it out. On Twitter I have my schedule set up, so the next time I'm gonna be streaming is on Wednesday at 8 p.m. for more Persona 3 Portable, where we're gonna go more into story. I pinky bear promise you, and we're gonna learn about our favorite boy Shinji. Let's go. Let's see what else. And on Friday we'll be doing more Yakuza, or not Friday, I apologize, Thursday 8 p.m. we're gonna be doing more Yakuza, so please feel free to join for that. Sorry, as you see, I've been cheating the system and been using Mondays for yeah, whatever kind of stream. So yeah, let's see. You know who we haven't rated? Actually, there's not a lot of people to rate, but who I'm really surprised to see streaming right now is Felty. Felty is like a super talented artist that I've seen around in Rip's chat and everyone else's chat, so let's give him some lots of love, okay? So let's go raid message here, raid message here. If you are subscribed, feel free to use the tip a gal with the Gao Gao raid. And if you aren't subscribed, feel free to use that. If you are subscribed, feel free to use the tip a gal with the Gao Gao raid. We're gonna be raiding into Felty right now, who's doing a little bit of a warm-up drawing, and I'm just glad to be able to catch their streams because they're actually really nice and chill. Their main language is Japanese, so apologies in advance. But it'll be fun to learn a little bit, wouldn't it? Learn even more. Let's go! Thank you for the stream tip, but have a good one. Hope you get those victory rails. I know, I'm super excited. I want to take a brain break. Brain break, brain break, brain break, brain break, brain break. Anyway, have a good one. Everycub, sending you lots of love. I hope to see you for anime night. And if not, I'll see you definitely on Wednesday, okay? Bye, 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 bye. Oh no, I can't find the stuff. Bye!